NBA fan has been screaming at me. He's now going to capital letters just to make sure I go to his question here. Why is Ohio State trying to recruit 2 running backs in this cycle if they have 5 running backs on the roster, with at most 2 leaving next year?
They lost Brian Snead, who was one of the running backs that they brought in last year. So, you still have to replace. And all of these running backs, you talk to them now, these high school running backs, they're all wise to, they see themselves as NFL guys, and they don't want too much tread on their tires, or they don't want too much wear on their tires in college. And so they are more than happy to share reps now and share carries and split carries. And it's so much different than it was, say, 10 years ago, where guys wanted 20 carries, they wanted 25 carries. And you look at, what Alabama used to do with their guys, would there be a ton of carries, or what Mark D'Antonio used to do, would he'd have 300 carries on one guy, and these guys would be burnt out. And now you look at Alabama, where Josh Jacobs carried the ball, 120 times last year, and is like a top 10 pick. So they're wise to the fact that I don't need to be 20 carries. In fact, I don't want 20 carries. My dad says I should not have 20 carries. And so they all know, like, 12, 15 carries, that's what I want. And I think coaches like that, because then they don't want parents and they don't want players complaining about playing time or this or that. And so, yeah, they're perfectly happy bringing in 2 running backs. They won't need to do it every year, but like I said, they did. Brian Snead was dismissed. They'll possibly be losing J.K. Dobbins, and they're a young group, so you don't really know what you have. So you need to bring in more.
It seems like the depth is there, but the depth is somewhat still unproven with Master Teague and Demario McCall. It's really not proven. And like you said, J.K. Dobbins is wanting more carries this year than he did last year, because he's not going to be splitting time with Mike Weber equally. But I'm sure that's in the back of his mind too. So they're going to be using him more this year potentially. But like you said, it could not hurt to have more depth at that position.
I'll just throw in, they have 5 running backs, scholarship running backs right now. They have Dobbins, who's the unquestioned starter. You have Demario McCall, who's done a little bit of everything, wide receiver and running back. And he actually filled it at running back last year, late in the season when Weber was hurt. And so he did get to play a little bit in a game or 2 late in the season last year and did pretty well. You have Master Teague, a redshirt freshman, coming back. And then obviously the new guys, Steel Chambers, and I believe it's Marcus Crowley. Is that the name? Yeah, Marcus Crowley. Those 2 guys are freshmen. So you have 3 guys who are either redshirt or true freshmen. I think you do need to add 2 in this class, no question about it, to get the numbers back where you want to be, because I see Dobbins as leaving, no question, even if he only rushes for like 600 yards. Weber left after last year, and it wasn't that great of a year for him. He played well in the Rose Bowl. I'll give him that much credit. His last game was fabulous, but on the whole, it was just kind of a meh year for him. So I don't know. I think they definitely need to sign 2 in this class. I think that's where Bijan Robinson out of Arizona, there's a kind of a vigil. Ohio State would have a van parked outside of his house right now if they could do that to kind of keep him in the fold, or make sure he ends up a Buckeye. He's the key name right now.